Okay, so today my angle grinder stand came in, and that's all it says is angle grinder stand. There's really no name of a company or anything. Of course, it's made in China, but there's still crap you need to get from China, I guess. Kind of sucks, but this seems to be actually rather well built. I've kind of gone through it, just kind of looking, get an idea on how it goes together, what it's going to take. I may or may not need a 10 millimeter, a 17 millimeter, and a 14 millimeter. Don't know if I need those yet, but they seem to fit the nuts that I have that came in the package. So it comes with a full set of little Allen wrenches here, nice little handle. This is very well constructed. This is cast aluminum. It's got a very nice slide on it. Works so far very well. The base says it's a 14-pound base, but I don't think it's quite 14 pounds. Maybe along the lines of 6, maybe 7. The whole thing might weigh 10 pounds when it's all put together. And then it comes with a little direction book here, relatively easy to comprehend, not too bad. Illustrations are a little small, they could have been a little bit bigger. It's only got 3 or 4 pages in there. But I'm gonna get to putting it together, so I'm gonna stick this over here in my camera stand and see if I can figure out how to stick this thing together real quick. See what happens. So alrighty, I'll start out over here on the back side. It has, this is the 10 millimeter, and it's also got Allen head on the other side. And these were relatively tight. I loosened them up already. Like I said, I kind of played around with this a little bit while I was trying to figure out what I was going to do this morning. So, set those off to the side. These are loose. I'm going to take those loose. Don't mind the sound here. Alright, so we're going to stick this right over top of this. This has slotted holes in the bottom, and I believe that's for adjusting it side to side once you get it all together, so you can get your blade lined up to the cutting groove on the opposite side over here. I'm going to stick those together in there. I'm just going to kind of hand tighten everything right this second. So we're not falling completely apart building this. So I'm going to bring this over the edge of the table. Find my holes here. There's one. A little tight in here to do this, but not too bad. It's easy enough to get to. Plenty of room for a wrench. Stick in there. I'm just gonna kind of snug this up so it doesn't be round on me as I'm putting everything else together. that. So that's halfway put together on that, real simple. And like I said, I'm very impressed with slide action on this. I am going to add just a touch of oil, probably 3-in-1 to that, just to maintenance. So it comes with these are the handles that go in over here. So you just stick those in. And there's also this slot is adjustable up and down this way for the thickness of your grinder. I've got an old Chicago Electric 4.5-inch grinder. I'm going to be putting on this to see if it's going to work the way I want it to. And if it does, then I will upgrade my grinder. Because once I have this together, it's going to be a permanent addition to my shop. So I'm going to stick those in. And those just go through the backside there. And again, like I said, as you can see, it slides to accommodate the size of grinder that you're going to put in it. So we're going to want those a little bit tight. And it comes with 2 different sizes of bolts here with 2 different bushing styles. This is obviously for a larger one. My grinder takes these smaller ones. So it says in the directions, what I could understand of it, is you put this nut on this way, stick that, and then you slide that into there. And then the same thing here, the other nut and bolt, stick it on the nut first. Slide your bushing, and then you stick your bushing in here, but I'm going to have to wait on that as I start connecting the grinder, which will be pretty quick. So then you have a longer bolt and a shorter bolt. It's got these little old plastic cleated feet. So, and it looks to me, what I see, the shorter one goes in, and on these, so you can tighten them up, there is a little Allen slot right here that'll come in from the backside, so you can tighten this back against your grinder for adjustment and to get it tight. So we'll run that one in quite a ways, get it out of the way. The grinder I have is kind of a fat body grinder. And then the top one, again, like so. Run it in. And again, like I said, I'm pretty impressed with the quality of it. This cast iron sliding compound unit here is very nice, very well built. It seems to be got a nice tight spring. Oops, where my hole fell out. It's got a nice tight spring on the back of it. In order to do that, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this out for a second. I want to go ahead and put this handle on. And the handle just goes like so. Slides your nut in there. It's got a keeper space in here, so you don't really need a tool for that. You just hold it in there, and then you can bring that down, give it a couple of good turns, tighten her up there. It's a nice handle, feels good. Got a rubber center here, it's kind of soft. It's nice. It says Mini Q on the handle. So maybe that's the name of the grinder stand. I don't know. It doesn't say on the box. It just says angle grinder stand. And as long as that's what it is, that's what it is. This little piece here, this little keeper, goes over here in the side. It's just a keeper screw. If you get set in one spot and you're going to do multiple cuts the same, that just stops the slider. So you just tighten it up just enough to stop the slider. Sorry. So that feels pretty good right there. You got good leverage right there with that handle on. I was kind of worried about the tightness of that spring because I was pulling it down just using that, and it seemed a little tighter. But with the handle, I think it's going to be all right. So it's got 45 degree. This will go up to 45. I'll go a little past 45 actually, probably over around the 55, maybe 52 degree angle range over in here. Don't know if you can see that or not. Another nice feature here is this quick release. You just push that button down and you can bring it into the size of material, let the button off, and then you can tighten it up. You don't got to sit there and screw it for a half an hour to get to your size. It's got a nice solid spring in there. Seems to be pretty nice. So this pivots as well. I might see if I can tighten that up. It seems to be a little loose. I don't know if it'll tighten or not at this point. So we're going to grab our angle grinder here. Throw this back up here somewhere. Get that out of the way. And so I can already see I got to back this one up quite a ways. Bottom one seems to be all right so far. I might actually, yeah, I think I done that wrong. I think the long one needs to go on the bottom because of the shape of the back of the grinder here comes down, and this foot here also has a angle to it. So we're gonna redo that, see what happens here. Get this one out of the way. A little long-winded, but get this one out of here. And so far it seems to be very self-explanatory, except for, of course, I messed that up already, but other than that, it seems to be pretty self-explanatory on how this thing goes together. I said I looked over those little directions a little bit ago, and they're readable, but as a lot of people know, a lot of products comes out Japanese, Chinese, tiny, can't read it. One page says one thing and then it jumps to another page and it says something else. So, and then you got to start over. All right, so we got that. So again, this little bushing here, the nut that goes into here like so. We're going to tighten that in to hold that. And I'm kind of glad that I left that loose. I just tighten that one in there, just finger tight. And then the other one comes up underneath over here. Same concept. So these nuts are on here so you can get it tight into the back side. Then you can tighten these. So apparently we do need this 14 millimeter on those. Run that one up. And then get this. I'm pretty close to where my cutting edge needs to be there. I am going to have to move it over. Looks to be probably about 1/8 of an inch or so, maybe maybe a quarter, so I'm not scoring the side of that plate there. So I'm gonna back this one off a little. Draw this up. Tighten this one. You want to do that with these. Grinders vibrate quite a bit, so you're going to want to make sure you got everything pretty tight right now. That seems to be all right. So I'm going to eyeball this. Looks like my bottom needs to go over. Looks like that might be the right one for that. Yeah. So I'm going to stick that in there. So I'm putting this in the back side of here so I can adjust the square of my blade to my. And it don't take much. Seems to be just a little twist or so. Let's see, around just a little bit. Just me moving it just now. This not being tight. It seems to have brought me to about where I want to be. I'll bring the top over just a little bit more. Really square it just a touch. And then tighten that one up, and that tightens itself against it. And this a little snug. And I'm sure I'm going to have to fine tune it, but right there, that's pretty solid mount so far. So we're going to square this base on it. I'm going to push it over. Got a little too tight, I think, to begin with, but yeah, I'll have to do some fine tuning here, but I want to just go ahead and get this tightened down. Oh, wrong size. We're going to go with the next size here. These are a little bit of a pain in the butt to get to, but they're doable. So I'm going to turn this around so I can see what the hell I'm doing. That's not squared. Gotta have the right tool for the job. My base seems to be eyeball square anyways on there so far. Come on, grab it. Yeah. It would be easier if that was out. Yeah, okay, that gives you a little more room. So pull that out a little bit and give yourself as much room as you can, I guess. These tight, because I don't want that thing ever moving. All right, put this around. Bring it over here so I can get my Allen wrench and my 10mm. That's in there. And then feel around. There it is. might do everything by feel. But that's easy enough. They got a little lock nuts there. So that makes it nice. They really kind of thought of everything as far as what this thing is. There's not a lot to it. But again, like I said, it seems to be very well made. Cast aluminum, cast iron, nothing plastic on this thing except for there's a guard right there. Looks to be a little flimsy, but it doesn't do anything except for guard you. Sparks and wood chips and whatever else. Okay, so at that, I mean, that's about 90% put together. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to, I gotta bring this top back out. Or in, whichever way you want to call it. But go that way, push that out. I want my blade, for what I'm doing, I really need to have my blade very, very straight, very precise. And so far, this looks like it might actually do the job. So then you have this little guard here. It's going to go like so. So take this little nut off, run this one back, stick it through there. And this has got a nylock nut, which is nice. So once you have it in and then backed on itself, it should work pretty good. So then on the back, right here where this is going through, you're going to stick, this has got a keeper screw here. I already loosened it a little bit ago. But then you can bring this up to where you want it. Tighten that into there. And I might need a different wrench. I didn't test this one. Oh, it's a 10mm as well. So, oop, lost my wrench. So we're going to tighten that in. Tighten that to where it's like so. And with that one there. And then I think I'm going to bring that to there. Looks like this is the one for that. And then I'll tighten up this little keeper screw here nice and tight because I don't want this to ever fall down into that blade for any reason while it's running. So that's that. And then this has still got a little bit of play. You can move it up and down if you want. So you can kind of get it out of your way. It's got enough friction on there, it seems like, that it's not going to just fall down into your work area. And that should accommodate a full 4.5 inch. And now this says that it'll go 4 inch to 5.5 inch, I believe is what it said. I might be wrong. I'd have to look at the descriptions because it sure as hell doesn't say on this box at all. 4.5 inch. No woodworking. Just says 4.5. But on the descriptions when I bought it from Amazon, it said that it's I think it said 5.5. And I got this relatively quick. It only took me like 2 days. I am an Amazon Prime member, which is, I don't know if that means anything, but I am an Amazon Prime member. Now, so where we're at now, I believe we're about done. This is what we got. The grinder's in there. Seems to be, don't mind the rocking, my table isn't exactly flat. I'm still working on that. So that wasn't anything of the tool, that was a base wobbling around on my table. So you have some extra parts left over. I believe this is going to be some sort of clip for your power cord. I don't know. Oh, I see. Yeah, actually, it goes right there. And then you clip the power cord into there like that. So that's kind of nice. That keeps that from dangling in your face. And then you can just run your cord back to where I want to run it. I've got a power source on that side of the table, so if I run that way, then I think we'll be all right. And again, it's pretty heavy. So this is what we got. Slides great. The action here is really nice. I'm gonna say for the price, $55. I don't think you can go wrong with it, to be honest with you. I'll use it for a while, and if it blows the hell up, then I'll let you guys know. If you never hear from me again, then it means it's working good. But there you have it. Angle grinder stand from Amazon. Model number 612508. You can read the rest. I don't need to read all that to you. And again, a little booklet here. Handling instructions, so you know how to handle yourself. All right, so looks like that took me about 27 minutes to put together, so that's not bad. Not too bad. So there you have it. Angle grinder stand 101, I guess. And it fit my Chicago electric grinder really well. Went right in, so that's what you got.